From Warcraft news, we move into lighter news, uh, yet interesting at the same time, and it has to do with Atari. Now, it doesn't have to do with whatever new console they've been having for the past 5 years that is now on pre-order. It's supposed to drop in April. I don't believe it. When it happens, I'll see it. We're talking about Atari whoring their names out yet again uh, to create a series of Atari-themed gaming hotels that are coming to the U.S. This is interesting in a good
my
way.
uncle will probably love it.
And also depressing, and he's not going to love it, I assure you, because it's not classic Atari.
Then you're right. He won't love it.
Atari is dead. Okay,
they have been.
It's a company that is grasping at straws. It's a shell of its former self, with less cultural impact than ever before. Okay, people know the name Atari, but when you think of Atari, you think of the 2600. And if you're young, under the age of 30, that doesn't mean anything to you other than, oh, that was the first video game thing.
Yeah.
Right? No one remembers the 5200, the 7800, the Jaguar, the Lynx. No one remembers that they used to be a publisher. No one remembers any of this stuff. And the past couple of years, Atari has been branching out into lots of different things, right? Mm-hmm. The biggest thing was the return of their new console that was on Kickstarter 3 years ago or something, then disappeared, then came back, then disappeared. Then they took it to CES, but it was just a shell. Then it disappeared. Then there was no guts. And
it's totally coming.
Then it's totally coming, and now it's supposed to launch in April. God, who knows? Okay,
I don't.
They have their hats. That was also a speaker, like Brian said. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember writing about that one.
Yeah, we wrote about that one. Another one. Shoes, all sorts of things. Like they're trying to brand out. Mostly because I think whoever owns the Atari name now back their investment.
Mm-hmm.
We
were in Blade Runner.
But Atari, they were in Blade Runner and Ready Player One. But Atari is actually getting now into the hotel business. And the concept designs that are on the website, you can see them. You can probably see them here right now. Are actually pretty cool. It's the Atari logo wrapped around like a hotel.
Yeah, I mean, they look nice.
They look nice. Not huge hotels, just like nice hotels. Okay. But Atari is not building them, just licensed their name. They've signed a deal to license their name to a real estate developer. The plan right now is to build 8 hotels across the United States in some major hubs, right? That would be the idea. Yeah. Los Angeles isn't in the cards right now, which is weird that you would figure that'd be a major hub for this kind of stuff.
You'd think
maybe San Francisco, maybe New York, maybe Dallas, something like that. You'd think, but no. The first hotel coming that's breaking ground this year is in Phoenix, Arizona.
Why?
I don't know Phoenix very well. I know they have a basketball team that they always make fun of.
They're in an Eagles song.
They're in an Eagles song. I don't know if that's a hub anywhere. I don't know if the Arizona region is a hub for much of anything. Okay.
Winslow, Arizona. Never mind.
They're building it in Phoenix. I guess Phoenix is a bigger town. They have a basketball. Okay.
Yeah.
They're also building them in other locations. Texas. Okay, that's a really hip place and large. It's the capital. Chicago, cool. Denver, cool. Las Vegas makes the most sense. Probably should have been the first one.
Yeah.
They are coming to California. We're getting 2 of them. San Francisco, which is good. And San Jose, both in the north.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who the real estate developer is, but they probably have deals with people if they're way up north and not down south. Yeah. It something like that. But that's what we're going to be. We don't have any understanding of what the hotels in general are going to be outside of the sketches. But word is that these locations will feature their own eSports studios. And that's what this is building about, eSports. Now,
you have Atari Gaming Playground in quotes there.
Yes, Atari Gaming Playground is what it's called. Now, it sounds silly, right? The idea of eSports hotels and all that stuff. But it makes sense in the age we're living in right now in 2020.
Especially in major
hubs
of
This is perfect with so many competitions happening everywhere. Every game, Street Fighter, Warcraft 3, Call of Duty, Halo is still going. StarCraft is still going.
Yeah, I could see the potential in that
All these
if you have
things.
something that's able to accommodate these people and
Right.
also what they're doing.
So there's a potential for a hotel
That's
chain to pop up that caters to that demographic if they build like their own mini convention center that is gaming focused, right? A location where you can go and take your team and film. Even better, little place to go. Cool. You can see tournaments popping up at these hotels, or even having these rooms and these locations rented out by teams that are on the road, that are traveling. You know, if you're an esports team traveling to a competition, probably you want to stay at an Atari hotel that has the equipment and capabilities to let you train or practice or whatever. So that's cool in theory, but other than that, we don't know what this is going to be. Right? The idea is probably it's just going to be the Atari name. You're going to see the logo all over the place, and then you're going to see an esports room. I don't know to the regular person how this is going to work. We
Probably
won't
someone
know
dressed up as their favorite Blade Runner character.
as their Blade Runner. Yeah, you'll see something. You know, someone dressed up as Yar from Yar's Revenge. Who knows? Pitfall Harry hanging out the front desk. Who knows? I figure this is going to be a lot like the Hooters Hotel in Las Vegas, which is right there on Tropicana. It's like a small to mid-sized hotel that does caters to like one thing, right? So the lobby is it's just a Hooters restaurant, and the hotel itself is normal. It's one of the old hotels, but it just has like the branding on it. I see it like that, except the lobby is going to have gaming setups, right? It's going to have like an esports ring. So I don't know how that's going to work. It's interesting. Atari is just there to make the money, right? Because it's just a license, so it doesn't hurt them. But it does dilute whatever was left of Atari, because what are they now? They got this console coming up that I don't think is going to do well, but what are they? It's just a name people know, right? Oh yeah, Atari.
Pretty much at this point.
Like what is Atari like? Does that name have any value? I don't think so.
In the right hands, maybe, but there's very little.
I think there's too much damage that's been associated with that name to, Atari for the 2600 and failure.
Yeah, that damage goes straight to the core. It's
failure. So
I mean, shit. Back in the day, one of their executives was a guy who worked in textiles and did not understand
the backstory of Atari is just, it's wicked interesting. It's bad.
If you have oh god, what was the name of that book? If you have the opportunity to read it, I think it was I don't remember it offhand, but
there's a book. There's tons of YouTube.
There's a book. Yeah,
tons of YouTube videos that
I read back in the day. It was amazing. I loved it.
Atari and their from their computer division and their games division, and just it was a cluster. The Jaguar was a nightmare, and then it turned into like what Tramel's like Commodore hands. And
here it is, High Score: The Illustrated History of Electronic Games.
There you go.
That's a fantastic book if you want to read that. I remember one quote was one of their executives was like, "I could shit in a cartridge and sell 1 million."
Yeah.
Which is that's not good.
That Atari is not a name associated with greatness, is what I'm saying. So this might be I think this is the only future Atari has, is licensing the name. Still means something to some people, but another generation of consoles go by and nobody's going to know what the fuck the Atari 2600 is.
No.
I mean, even now it's like fairly irrelevant unless you're over the age of 30. You may know about it. No one has an Atari 2600, right? Like they've been throwing those Atari flashbacks for decades and no one's buying them.
Yeah, they are sitting there.
They just sit. So
I mean,
we'll see what happens with Atari. I hope for the best. I mean, if they're in a city that I go to, I'd stay at one just to check it out. It'd be cool. I guarantee you that when it opens, it's going to be Influencer Central.
It'd be nice if they had like an arcade.
Yeah, probably not.
Remember when hotels would have arcades?
when they would have, yeah, that was the reason to go to hotels. So when this first one in Phoenix launches, I guarantee it's going to be influencer central. Like every gaming YouTuber with over 100,000 subscribers is going to be like, come to this and say nice things, and we'll give you a free night stay, and they'll be like, cool, and say all these fantastic things because they got free shit. So who knows? Hopefully it works out, but that's it for Atari news. So that brings us to the end of our show for this week. If you want to know anything more about what we talked about, you can head over to gambitmag.com or click the links in the description for anything we talked about for our articles or reviews. There's also news every single day, game reviews coming up all the time, movie reviews, whatever you need. You can find us over on Facebook as well. The best thing you can do is subscribe here on YouTube, or if you're listening to the podcast, subscribe to get updated when we release new episodes. Usually come out every Friday or Saturday every single week. So until next time, we'll catch you all later. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic rest of the day, week, whatever it may be. We'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.